Hello there. I hope I find you well. Thank you so much for joining me to this broadcast of the prophetic dimension, unearthing mysteries behind the prophetic. Theological scholars are irresolute as to the etymology of the Bible term prophecy. Some they presume that the noun is from an Arabic term meaning spokesman. Arabic term meaning spokesman, whereas others they contend with the idea that the root is a Hebrew form which signifies a bubbling up, as when water issues from a hidden fountain. This would suggest the idea of the inspiration behind the prophecy. It is now more commonly believed in the prophetic world. It is now commonly believed, however, that the word may be of Akkadian origin and that it may denote to be called. So when a person is termed a prophet, it denotes to be called. The best way to determine the meaning of the term is to examine the manner in which the Bible employs it. The expositories that are embedded in the Bible are the ones that we are going to use this afternoon. The classic passage which sets forth the role of the prophet is in Exodus chapter 7 from subsection 1 to And Jehovah said unto Moses, See, I have made thee as God to Pharaoh, and Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet. Thou shalt speak all that I command thee, and Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh. So a prophet was simply a spokesperson for God. In this scenario, Aaron was a spokesperson on behalf of Moses to Pharaoh. The prophet was also called a seer. That's in the book of 1 Samuel chapter 9 subsection 9. Note how the term prophet and seer are interchanged in this book of 1 Samuel chapter 9 verse 9. Before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of God, thus he said, Come and let us go to the seer, for that he that is now called a prophet was before time called a seer. So some scholars they suggested that the term prophet stresses the objective or active work of God's spokesperson. Let's put a pin on that. It stresses the name prophet, it stresses the objective or active work of God's spokesperson, whereas seer, it underscored the subjective method of receiving divine revelation. So there is that a contradistinction between a prophet and a seer. The contradistinction is this: a prophet stresses the subjective method. That's the keyword, subjective method, and objective or active work of God's spokesperson. Then the name seer, it underscored the subjective method of receiving divine revelation. So prophet stresses the subjective or active work of God's spokesperson, and seer underscored the subjective method of receiving divine revelation, that is by seeing. So there are a number of truths which need to be appreciated if one is to understand the function of prophecy in biblical literature. And we are going to review and decode and try to glean through some different scriptures that I'm going to give unto you. The first one, Paul unveils in 1 Corinthians chapter 12 subsection 38 that God has appointed these in the church: first apostles, second prophecy, third teachers, after that miracles, and then gifts of healings, helps, administration, varieties of tongues. So the prophetic ministry functions best in the local church, when both pastors and the people in the congregation have a unified view and understanding of the prophetic and how it should operate. If there is any ministry in the board that needs to be taught to the church, to the world, to the members, and to the people of God, is the prophetic ministry. It can be a powerful tool for good and blessing in the body of Christ, but also one of the potential dangers. I wanted to put a mark and a pin on that. It can be one of the potential dangers at the same time. A scalpel in the hand of an unruly or a gun in the hand of a minor is as dangerous as a gun in the hand of an angered soldier. So if you give a gun to a minor, it is so very dangerous. But if you give it to a person with capacity, a person who is responsible, it's a good weapon. Thank you so much for listening to me. I'm gonna come back again in trying to unearth divine revelations that are embedded and hidden in the prophetic dimensions. If you want, we've got a school of ministry where we are teaching people on how to function fully in the prophetic. At the end of the day, realizing your God-given ability. This is your boy Brian. God bless you. Thank you so much. Signing out.